bear down. Bear down.
It's a bear down.
Who you finna call? Bears Banter. First things first, what's the team in question? Heard Soldier Field got a couple lethal weapons. Bear down, first down, couple key possessions. Come to the postgame, watch them teach some lessons. Say, what? I don't think the people are convinced. I say call them, but they tell you how to read a blitz. They in cover 2. Tell me why they switch to cover 6 every Friday at 7:30. No, I cannot miss. Like, hey, yo. Yeah, we live for the post.
Season 7, Bears Banter Talk Show. And we bringing y'all something new this year. We're actually going to be doing Bears Banter Talk Show Sports Network. We're going to get into that a little bit more in the show. But welcome to Bears Banter, Season 7. Bears preseason against the Browns. We know it's preseason, but we love our Bears. Bears 34, unanswered points to the Browns 10. Let's get it cracking.
Let's go. Welcome to season 7.
Let's go.
Let's
where
get it
y'all
cracking.
been, man? I missed this.
Hey, I miss you guys too, man.
Yeah,
I miss you guys
Yeah.
too, man. It's been a lot. It's been a lot, but I miss you guys too, man.
Yeah, man. I
I'm
miss
just
you
ready for the
guys,
season.
man. You know, I always want football season to come. I just don't want the summer to rush.
Yeah, right.
That
You don't
part.
want to rush their time. You don't want to
Can't
rush
have
their
them
time.
go pick your poison.
But guess what, though? Guess what? And we're gonna get into the show real quick. But guess what? For real,
Chicken butt.
this ain't really been no summer. All we've gotten is rain and destruction in the south suburbs for you guys. I'm praying for y'all. I'm in the city. So it hasn't hit us as bad as it hit you guys. But man, it hasn't really been a summer. But you know, football is back, and I'm glad it's here.
When did Chicago turn into the beginning of the Wizard of Oz?
You want to hear something tripped out? So I'm off the lakefront, and it's funny. I left my window open, and I walked in. It was bone dry, and I'm hearing all these stories about people's lights out, trees falling on cars. I must be doing something right.
Something right.
Thank you.
Yep.
Something right.
Yep.
Shoot, we
Yes,
take a
sir.
test. I might
Hey,
get
praying for all
65.
those who had some damage because it definitely was a lot of damage out there.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of trees down. It looked like a lot of people starting to get their power back up. So that's good to hear. You get the power back up. And I couldn't imagine being several days. A couple of people, friends of mine, say they've been out like 5 days, 7 days,
Yeah.
8 days.
Yeah, especially at Crete.
Well,
They
my
got hit.
concern is people talk like it's over. I mean, this season is still going. You know, it's I'm in the northern suburbs, and it's actually missed us most of the time. That doesn't mean we haven't had tornadoes sightings in the past too. So it's just whoever turn it is in the funk, I guess. So
Yeah.
I'm
You
praying
can
for
tell.
everybody. Hopefully they get their electricity back. The most important thing, everybody gets to be concerned. I lost my house, tree landed on my car. You alive.
Right.
Amen to
All
that,
the
bro.
other stuff we
Absolutely.
don't worry about. You alive, we can
lost-
fix the stuff.
I've
Absolutely.
had
Right.
about in my lodge, man, be it a parent, a brother, one of my past masters. I had one of the brothers in here in the hospital like maybe 5 times in 3 months. I had one of my brothers that had to deal with an amputation. So I got aches and pains from Saturday, but I don't even care, man. It's all good, man. That
Right.
man upstairs know what he's doing, and I appreciate him.
There you go.
Right. Hey, Jay did mention at the top of the broadcast that we expanded to a network. So what you're going to start seeing on this is more programming, hopefully throughout the week, where you're going to see BBTS. But I'm going to keep talking. Okay, I saw a little breakdown. But we're going to keep expanding this where we got more programming, may have a couple of different personalities. Like Quick is going to spin out a show. I think it's going to be called Out of Bounds. Is that what he said? Out of Bounds?
That's a good
Yeah.
play on words.
I can't wait to hear that, see that, man. I can't wait. He's around
Yeah,
somewhere.
so it's gonna be some. Yeah, it's gonna be some things. You know, quick with the out of bounds, and you know we're gonna try to expand the high school legends, and just Bears Banner itself. You know, with the anticipation of the season coming up this year, man, it's a lot. I know I'm hyped. I'm always hyped though for the Bears season, but around Chicago, everybody is hyped. So we gonna, national media, they kind of balancing us on the scale. Like the Bears might be the regression of the season, and Ben Johnson talking about we in shootouts and blowouts. So it's a lot going. It's a lot going on. It's a lot going on right now for Chicago. Not to mention, and I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it. The stadium issue that the Bears got going on, because the bottom line is that's a whole show that we can do.
Right.
How y'all bought land in Arlington Heights 3 years ago with no plan, and it's still no plan. So that's a whole nother conversation, but we ain't gonna get into that tonight.
You know what? What I will say about the Bears, and we talked about it, about how Ben Johnson seems like the adult in the room, and guys really want to play for him. I mean, they were down 10-0. You don't really put much into a preseason game, but what I liked about them, not only did they score 34 straight points, but it just seemed like nobody looked like they were lost out there. And you could tell, man. It was like a lot of plays that they had that were like those timing plays. They look like everybody's on the same page. And I mean, that's what you want. And that's a great start, man.
Somebody asked me at work, they was like, so what you think? The Bears had a blowout. I was like, yeah. I was like, but the way I look at preseason, if those particular plays were ran by the first string offense,
that right there.
If those were ran by the first string offense and we put up 34 points, I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that. It was definitely some standouts in this preseason, and it's been over the last couple of years. It's like these same people have been standouts. And Ryan Poles said it last year, which I was like, yeah, okay, it is what it is. He said it last year. He was like, it's gonna be hard to make this roster. The Bears got a lot of decisions to make on this team this year, and y'all know my bias. That wide receiver room right now, oh my God. It's pretty darn scary, man. It's pretty darn scary. Dude, it's pretty darn scary. So I'm liking what I'm seeing.
I'm looking at the distribution, the ball distribution. 4, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 2, 3, 3, 3. The yards 88, 63, 55, 42, 37. That's scary, man.
Explosive,
really scary.
Plays. Explosive plays. Ben Johnson be like, we want to run the ball. Yeah, we want to run the ball, but explosive plays is what get us in the end zone. So, albeit one preseason game, but I like how Ben Johnson is just pressing the button. All gas, no brakes. All gas, no brakes. No matter if it's preseason or whatever. Even in practice, they was talking about how intense they padded practices have been for the ones that they've had. So this is a good sign. This is a good sign for the Chicago Bears.
I tell you what,
Jay,
though,
you mentioned the receiver room. I had to look up the names to remember because preseason. You got so many new names. It was like I think it's pronounced Kadeem Davis. Number 27.
I got my notes right.
You got your notes right. Yeah, he made some nice catches. I know he dropped one early on where it was kind of a tight throw and there was two defenders on it, but I think he caught about 6. He caught what?
He had 4 receptions. He had 4 receptions for 88 yards in the first half.
Yeah,
that's pretty good. The other one was McLeod had a good showing as
and
well.
Maurice Alexander
Salvin Ahmed
was a star last year. Don't get on the running backs, man. Don't give it out in this. Let me have my thing. Let me have my thing with my wide receiver. And then you had Maurice Alexander, and then you had Scotty Miller. So it's some people that's vying for that 5th and 6th wide receiver spot, because I'm still feeling like you got Rome, you got Luther Burton, you got Khalif Raymond, and you got Zade Walker. Are the Bears gonna carry 5 or are they gonna carry 6? So, that 5th and 6th wide receiver spot, yeah. But you got to be able to play special teams too.
Yeah.
And look at this.
That 5th and 6th wide receiver spot is up for grabs.
The scary thing too, I'm looking at all these guys: Dave McLeod, Ahmed, Alexander, Miller, and Richardson. Scotty Miller had the lowest average of catches, 12.3 yards. I'm like, okay, and you know what? And I called Ryan Poles, man. Y'all know I got his number, man. He told me Luther's not really injured. They just didn't want to expose Jalen Johnson, because every time you saw some tape of Luther Burden in the preseason, he was burning somebody. I mean, bad. So they just shut him down. They said it was an ankle injury. It's really a pride thing. But yeah, man, that wide receiver room is stacked, man.
Yeah. Now let's get to the running backs. I want to talk about Salvon Ahmed.
Oh my God.
I like it. I like it. And he's been in the league for a couple of years now, bouncing around on practice squads, but I like him. You guys was texting, talking about Roschon. I actually forgot Roschon Johnson was on the team. I really did. I really forgot that he was actually on the
team. I thought he was released in the all season. You know what? The Bears need to do themselves a favor and players like Ahmed, who looked good in the game. I think he broke that long run.
Yeah, he did. The 49-yard screen.
You don't have to look at Roschon Johnson no more. Make it easy. Let him go. He get a chance to catch on another team. He just can't play.
Right.
He just can't play. He had some value as a short yard runner a few years ago, but ever since Plank pointed out when that dude punched him in the mouth on the sideline, he's been downhill.
Took his heart. I'll tell you what, a couple things about the Bears I want to talk about. First, that bandwagon is overloaded, man. There's people that got extra tires on the bandwagon. Some people walking right behind it like in the Alabama days and the civil rights. But that bandwagon, a whole lot of people still trying to jump on it. Number two, the most important thing that I think that's being shown, or one of the important things, is the Bears are showing a number of competent professionals.
Yes.
So in that game we just played against Cleveland, one of the things you need to understand is the Bears didn't play their starters.
Yep.
That was second and third string guys that ended up getting into a rhythm and getting better. One of the big heads ups I wanted to talk about was Coach Randall L.
Yes.
That's the one that called the offense, played the role of offensive coordinator for the second half, and he's largely responsible for those 34 points. So you just saw them getting into a much better meter. Also, strangely enough, the Bears still came up with 3 turnovers in this season. So that turnover bug that we had working last year, who's to say it's gone? So we got a lot of good things going for the Bears.
You know what else we got too, Plank, which is interesting, and I know we're going to get on the defensive side. After a while, I saw them double and triple team and Jordan Vanderbosch. They was just holding this dude. I'm like, what? I mean, I'm not saying, I'm not saying that he's a kid, but it's kind of nice to see an offensive line pay attention to a guy. The guy basically got that motor. He's fast. He may not have the longest arms. He not no Tommy Davis, but the thing is, when you get a guy that's disruptive at the tackle, that's that disruptive, now they're taking eyes off the defensive end. And I'm telling you, I can't wait till we play Green Bay, because if he play like that and he get in there with Green Bay, you're going to see your boy Austin Book again, standing in the rain, the snow, in the backyard, in the swimming pool, just standing there with a helmet on. Looking at
last year, Georgia Tech, this young man got 29 pressures on the quarterback in 1 year. So a lot of people are saying, oh, this is, smoke and mirrors, this ain't real.
No, it ain't.
I think this is the real thing. You don't fake speed, you don't fake strength. That guy did what, 35 reps, 225. That's ridiculous, man.
I'm actually surprised that Jordan Vandenberg lasted to the 6th round. Because last year I saw an interview right before one of the Georgia Tech games, and they interviewed him, and they were showing his highlights, and I was just like, this kid can actually play. And when we actually got him in the 6th round, I was actually surprised. But Plank, what I want to do is I want to go to you and talk about the secondary. Because Beanie Bishop Jr., who just had 6 days ago, had 2 picks.
Yeah.
Albeit again, it's a preseason game.
Yeah, right place.
He's playing against the Cleveland Browns, who don't mind up serving it up. You know, Shedeur Sanders, you know, kudos to him, but to me, he's just an average run-of-the-mill backup quarterback. So I want to know from you, Frank, about this secondary, because, you know, we suffered a terrible loss with the Kobe Bryant situation.
Yeah.
And that's putting the rookie in a very vulnerable position when it comes to the back of the secondary. Not to mention the Kyler Gordon thing, which I've had a soft tissue injury. I'm 57 years old. And I'm like, okay, how long does it take for a person to come away from a soft tissue injury? And I'm talking about medical staff that's at your exposure. This is, help me out, Plank. Help me out.
I got, before you say that, before you do that, Plank, I'm going to say something about that, which is interesting. What makes it worse, dudes stayed in Chicago all offseason at the facility.
I don't get it.
It ain't the tissue that's soft from where it seems now.
Okay.
I don't get it.
A couple comments for the Bears secondary, since you put me on the spot and you did the introduction. First thing I want to say is you are an imposter. I've been telling you you're an imposter for a couple of years. That picture in your yearbook where you was playing corner, you didn't want nobody in this show to ever see it. Once I thought that you got DB skills, you can no longer play wide receiver capability. No, I'm not going for it. Second, everything that you said about the Bears DBs, that sounded exactly like what a DB would say. So the dress is showing, man. Come on, your skirt showing, bro. That's good. Hey, that's good business. But you know, Kyler Gordon, I've heard some troubling things about the young man. I also have a torn calf. I'm 61 years old. For him to have those soft tissue injuries and things like this, part of the issue is he's probably out partying too much. He's probably out focusing on things that aren't profession or football specific, and you know that's how that's coming out. Well, basically, soft tissue injuries are you haven't been running, you haven't been stretching, and you know these are 100% preventable, especially for a 27-year-old guy with the capability of Spider-Man. Kyler Gordon, I think he's burning bridges. He's turning into this year's Nate Davis, and I'm not sure if the young man can come back or not. So he's lost the faith of the power
of the coaching staff. Yeah,
but it also could be too, Plank. And I mean, you and I were having a conversation off screen too. Like me trying to get back at 60, you know, having done the martial arts, having played sports, and starting to get like little nicks and stuff. And the very first thing that you mentioned was Pilates. A lot of guys get out here and they think that fixing the situation means picking up these weights and lifting these weights. That Pilates is no joke. And I mean, and when you start getting into the Pilates, it's a twofold thing. Not only does it strengthen your body, but it actually opens up stuff like, for example, your hips. I get to this whole medical thing, like people that got sciatica and stuff. After a while, it sticks to your piriformis muscle when you don't work it out. And if your hips don't open up, and a lot of these guys think that, oh, I'm going to bench press and I'm going to squat 400 pounds, but there's no way in the world that you could tell me that you have a credible medical staff and you spent the whole summer here and you going into the preseason and you still hurt and it's a soft tissue injury. I can see if you had a broke, because look at what's his name? Edmonds, TJ Edwards. He had a catastrophic injury. Ozzie Trapilio. Catastrophic injury.
That's something else.
Both them dudes are coming back.
Practice.
So what does that say? Like I said, it's troubling, and I hope it's something to work out, but it look too good, man.
Yeah. Hey, let me pull this up right quick.
Bears Banter Talk Show by the Chicago Bears fans for the Chicago Bears fans. Hey,
don't forget to subscribe. Thank you.
Bear down.
Make sure you subscribe to Bears Banter. We are 144 subscribers from 1,000 subscribers. Hit that subscribe button.
Come on, bandwagon people, get subscribed.
Right, come on, y'all. Go on, hit that button. Go on, hit that button.
Yeah, it makes you wonder. I remember George Foreman said this: when you start wearing them silk robes, you don't want to fight no more, right? And he could be like he got that check because he came into last season injured, and I think he kind of like appeared in a game or two. Then he missed the next 10 or 12 games, and come on, you still in the same spot that you were in last year?
That's
for
my
the
thing.
same, yeah. It makes it
For
like
the
he got that
same
check.
injury.
He got that silk robe, like George Foreman saying, you don't want to fight no more because you live in the luxury life, right? And he's probably starting to say, man, I got to think about my future, right? Because that's what happened that George Foreman was saying, basically. Like, you start getting that money and you start saying, oh, man, I got to worry about my future. But football is so short-lived that if you don't take advantage of that little 5 to 6 year window that the average person have, before you know it, you out of the league, and a lot of the money that you probably thought you was gonna get, you're not getting because there's so much of your contract that is performance based, right? You had that guaranteed part is the only guaranteed part. The rest of it is performance based. Yeah. So he needs to figure out what he's gonna do. I'm disappointed because even the coaches sound like y'all mentioned, they sound like they don't know why he's not playing. Right.
You know what, too? A lot of people don't realize that a lot of injuries that you have that you don't recover from, sometimes it's not even always about the workout. It's psychological. Because once you start thinking, I'm going to give two people, not that they were injured. Look at Jack Sanborn. Look at Jordan Vanden Bosch. These are two guys, if you look at them outside of the lifting weights and stuff, they ain't no eye test guy. They don't pop off the charts. But them dudes want it. I mean, Jack Sanborn, one of the slowest guys in the NFL, he had 5 tackles the other day. I know it's a second string, but when you got that chip, like Jordan Vanden Bosch said, what can we think? What do we need to know about you? He said, I was like not getting major deals for college as far as scholarships, and nobody looked at me and they drafted me. I got a chip on my shoulder. That's the guy you want in the huddle, because guess what? That dude will walk up there with a dislocated shoulder, something like that. Like, give me some tape. I'm going back out. But see, with Kyler Gordon, man, it's at the point right now that what the Bears are showing on offense and defense is something that I saw. I could say, if I could describe what I saw, they're playing fast. And when guys play fast like that, it just lets you know that everybody understands the plays that are being run. They know their assignments. And Kyler Gordon, when he finally gets his helmet, he's going to be standing on the sideline holding the clipboard.
And the thing about this year that's different from last year, and I'm quite sure if people just observe it, everything looks just so much more crisper.
It does.
They're not thinking about what they're doing. They're coming in and out of the huddle. Even when Bajan was in there, they was coming in and out of the huddle. They was coming in and out of the huddle. Case Keenum went 9 for 10 for 151 yards and two touchdowns.
75-year-old Case Keenum.
Albeit I will stress it's preseason, but he went 9 for 10 for 151 and 2 touches. That's efficient. That's efficient. So just everything looks so much cleaner now. And going into year 2 of Ben Johnson's tenure, that's what we're supposed to see. And we're seeing those things right now.
Couple things
I want to go with. Oh, I'm sorry, Plank. Go ahead, Plank.
Okay, no. A couple things. One, hats off to Ozzie Trapillo. This is somebody who had a catastrophic injury this year. He tore his patella this year
in January.
Already fighting to come back in training camp. That's unheard of. I wish him well. I hope he's not, overdoing it or whatever. The other thing I want to mention, and this is based on last Saturday's game, isn't it amazing how good the Bears are? nobody mentioned Caleb Williams yet.
Nope.
Right there.
Talking about all of the capability we have on our team. And we did that without the context of talking about the top star in Chicago today.
Well, you was the one brought it up. You was the one just brought it up.
Him just did.
But it wasn't the first thing we mentioned, right? Oh, Caleb. We like, yeah, we got a dragon sitting up there in the garage. We'll let him out in a couple weeks.
I got a question for all three of you guys, since you guys played, and you guys strike me as some very cerebral guys. When you know and you understand the plays, when somebody calls a play, do you even think about it at that point when you really know it? You know what I'm saying? Like, for example, certain check downs. You know how sometimes people say, oh, we're about to do this. When they call the play, do you guys even think about the play, or is it just like muscle memory, like osmosis, where you know if one guy moves an inch of a certain way this way, you automatically know what the adjustments are?
If you know your playbook,
Uh-huh.
if you know your playbook, I know where Bernard's supposed to go, who he's supposed to block. If you know your playbook, it's muscle memory. It's no thinking like, okay, am I supposed to line up? Once the quarterback called that play in the huddle, it's not even one of them things. Like, I'd be so mesmerized when teams break the huddle and the wide receiver go one way and the quarterback be beckoning him back like, no, you supposed. That's insane to me. If you know your playbook, you're supposed to know where you are, what routes you're running. If you have to block somebody, you should know that. That's muscle memory. But you got to be in your playbook. And one thing I can tell you about Ben Johnson is these guys are in their playbook. And again, it's no block, no rock. So, you know, it was a play Saturday where I saw Jade Walker. He just down the field. It was a one play. He down the field blocking. And I'm like, this is what I'm talking about. If you want to be in this lineup and get some snaps on the field, you're going to know your playbook and you're going to know what you're supposed to do. And it's muscle memory. It's not going to the line of scrimmage thinking like, oh, am I supposed to? No. That means you're not prepared. That means you are not prepared.
Yeah, hey, I agree. I agree with you, Jay. I did want to mention something. What I did know in preseason, Karan Amagadi, Amagadi, he can't play. he can't play. He can't play. You know, I was talking to my brother about this today. That after they drafted, they got Caleb and Rome in that draft. After that, I don't know what Poles was doing, but I don't know. Maybe he was just so happy. He just like, hey, I don't care. But that guy can't play, man. I mean, he went to Yale. He played like half a season. Then the next season at the Bears draft him, I think he played 1 game or 2 games. He's just a big guy. He probably wouldn't even have been at Yale if he could play.
Because he looked the part. He looked the part. He gave up. I believe he gave us some pressure because early on Tyson Bagent was getting a little pressure from the left side. I think he was sacked. Was it twice? Yeah,
I think he was sacked twice in the game.
But it's interesting to see that Braxton Jones is out, and everybody, you know, I'm just saying everybody just to phrase it, you know, people like they don't like Braxton Jones. Okay, Jedrick Wills, who was a top 10 pick about 4 or 5 years ago in the NFL draft. He was a number 10 overall pick in the first round. Mm-hmm. We don't know if he can play yet. And then we got Ozzie coming back. We still got Theo Benedict. I don't know who's going to be at that left tackle, but right now it's probably going to be Braxton Jones if he can come back and be healthy.
Turnstile blocks. To answer your question, Guy, about, you know, whether or not you in your playbook, a lot of times you can start diagnosing plays that the other team is trying to run if you know your playbook and you know your keys well enough. As a matter of fact, there used to be times we would get out there And I don't know what's going on with the other team, but I looked at the receiver. I'm like, oh, two. And the other guys were like, what does that mean? We didn't have no play call two. But the fact that he thought I knew what he was doing took his head out of the doggone game. So the cerebral part of the game is more than half of the competition. What you got, Jay?
And you know it's crazy because now I'm gonna switch my hat playing to the defense.
Uh-oh.
You already been on the defense.
He two-facing. He double dipping.
It's crazy how when you play defense, you can look at as a team break the huddle and how they go to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
If the linemen get down in their stance, if they got 3 fingers in the ground, or if they got 2 fingers in the ground, if they got a fist in the ground, it's almost like, okay, that's a run play. So it's so intricate. But if you in it, you know exactly what's going on. And that's why I tell people I don't watch football with a lot of people because I don't be wanting to hear. I'm not answering no questions right now because I'm so locked in to the game, but it's so intricate. And when you love the game as much as I do, and I'm not even an NFL player, if you love the game as a person and you get into the intricacies of the game.
Yeah, that's why you got to study your opponent.
It's great.
I'm sorry,
It's great. It's great.
Mike, I'll be real quick. Study your opponent, right? Because you say, for example, offensive lineman, some of those keys that you said, matter of fact, say if it's a white guy, maybe you see his skin getting a little red in his hands, right? Because right, so you may notice like, okay, he gets more tense on a run play, so his hands is gripping the ball, the ground a little bit harder, or maybe on a pass play, he's always riding his left hand on his thigh, right? But then when it's a pass play, maybe, you know what I'm saying? That's the positions, right? So you studying your opponent, you doing all the other stuff, even as a D-back, right? You looking at a guy's foot placement, then you might have noticed that every time maybe he went quick slant, he has his foot placement maybe farther apart or closer apart, right? And you're like, okay, he about to run that slant, right? That's a whole, right? And if he's studying his person who study him, he know that person has studied that. So now he's trying to deceive him on making him believe, right? It's all chess, right? It's not checkers.
It's all chess.
What I did my senior year, okay? This was my best play the senior year. Nobody ever actually talked about it. Wasn't interception, whatever. But I'm playing DB, 8 yards off the ball. As soon as they said hike, I saw the offensive tackle, going out trying to get the linebacker. So as soon as I knew saw him trying to hit the linebacker, I came up because I knew it was a run. There was no way he could pass because if he tried to pass, he would
already went past the line of scrimmage.
So I ended up coming up and I ended up getting a tackle for loss as a DB, 5 yards deep in their backfield. So the only one that actually noticed that at the end was Coach Matt. He was like, "Son, that was a heck of a play you just made." I was like, "Yeah, I finally did something right." But sometimes just watching the game and knowing what you look like, what you're looking at, makes all the difference.
He call you a lemon head.
I did the right thing that
time. And even as a wide receiver, when you break the huddle and you look over the defense and you got a defensive back that's standing in front of you and he got his hands on his hips or he down in his stands like this, you're like, okay, yeah, I got him, because guess what? He's looking for L right now. He's looking for L right now. I got him. So it's just the little things that you study that can make you actually be better at the game. And it's all, man, it's so sexy. I tell people, football is so sexy, man. It's so sexy, man.
Hey, Jay, you sound like, I can't remember who it was. It was Ocho Cinco. He was talking. It was some years ago. He was talking about Devontae Adams out running, and he started crying. He was like, "Man, out running this thing." But anyway, let me move to
at Devontae Adams. And let me just say this: at Devontae Adams' age right now, he's still probably one of the top 2 route runners in the NFL right now.
Yeah.
At his age right now, he's still probably one of the top 2 route runners in the NFL.
Ryan Winarski.
Well, one of the viewers, hey, thank everybody who tuned in tonight to Bears Banter. Make sure you subscribe and share this content with other people. This is season 7. I see Ron made a comment about Ben wants blowouts. This win was 34-10 is a good start. What do y'all think about Ben? And he was talking about that last week where he said they want to be the highest scoring team ever, and I believe it was with Denver. Denver had the highest score, so he wants to do that. So that's a lot. Like they say, if you shoot for the stars, maybe if you miss, shoot for the sun, right? You shoot for the sun, and maybe you end up at the stars, right? If you fail, but if you're just shooting for just mediocrity, that's what you end up getting. So I think it's a good start because you're setting a standard for your team. And a major thing this year, and I'm kind of like, man, what's going on? To hear national people actually not making fun of the Bears in the offseason, and to hear people talking about the Bears, and then to talk about the Bears quarterback
and they side out.
So I don't know where they at on the top 100 players, but the last time I looked, I think they was at maybe 38. And Caleb was ranked 51, and I know that selection is by the players and I believe the coaches. And when I looked at the list of the quarterbacks that were already named, the only body he landed. I think he's going to land about 6th or 7th. And how NFL teams, players, and stuff view him, because players that were behind him surprisingly was what's it? Jalen Hurts,
Jordan Love.
There was quite a few quarterbacks that were behind him. So anybody I see left that they had not named at the last time I looked was they had not named Dak Prescott. They had not named Josh Allen. They actually ranked Caleb ahead of Lamar Jackson. And they had not named what's the other quarterback? It was about 3 or 4 guys I'm thinking that they had not named. And Caleb was ahead of them, and so they had named some guys that he was ahead of. So it's only about 3 or 4 guys left that I'm figuring that would come on the list. Because if you look at the 2 or 3 that was ahead of them, it wasn't that many left. Because the rest of the guys, you start looking at them like, no, they're not going to be on this list. But it ain't in the top 100. They decent guys, but they not.
I just think that with Ben Johnson saying what he said, I'm okay with that. Because you should expect to be the best. And after last year, and I know I was talking to one of my coworkers today, and I was like, after last year, I know, having 7 come from behind victories, that's not sustainable.
Right.
But you can build from that. And when you build from that, going from season 1 to season 2 in the same offense, because you got to remember, prior to last year, Caleb Williams he was going through his 3rd offense. He had the USC offense his senior year. Then he had wacky Waldron his first year, and then he had Ben Johnson last year. So that's 3 different offenses. So now you into your 2nd year of a stable offense, a legitimate offense that can put points on the board, and they have gave you multiple weapons. I've talked about the receivers, and I know, it was a preseason game, so we're not really trying to dive deep into the game, but we still ain't saying nothing about Cole Kmet and Coastal Loveman and DeAndre Swift and Kyle Monangai and Sam Rouse. We ain't even said nothing about these people.
Oh, so he is.
Quick. All right. Hey, real quick, I did the name. It's up to 30. I think we still got a
Feedback. Yeah.
Yeah, we still got feedback quick. So the names I see they was up to 31. The top 31, 31 to 100 had been named already. Who was 33 as far as quarterbacks that were named was Jared Goff was ranked 33rd. 39th was Justin Herbert. 44 was Joe Burrows. 51 was Caleb Williams. 56 is Jalen Hurts. 59 Bo Nix. 62 Trevor Lawrence. 69 Lamar Jackson. So, like I said, when you look at that list, it's not too many other guys left other than Josh Allen, Dak Prescott, and I can't even think
I don't. It's kind of hard for me to put stock in that because you said he up to 31. If Patrick Mahomes is in the 30s or lower,
Patrick Mahomes, he's not on the list.
Then I'm like, dude didn't
so
even
he
play
could
the
be
whole
anywhere
season,
between 1 and
31. Yeah,
right.
1 and 30. Yeah, and I'm like, okay, he didn't even play a full season. So I can't remember actually when he got hurt, but I know he didn't finish the season. So, but that list is subjective, and the way I look at it is Caleb, and I said it. He's special. Caleb is special, man. He is special. He's special.
You know what? And for naysayers, I'll give you a little bit of a tidbit. When you got a mercenary like Myles Garrett singing his praises, that tells you everything you need to know.
Yep.
Well, I got a new nickname for one of the Chicago Bears players, and I'm calling this guy Freddy Krueger because he is a nightmare on Elm Street for rookie Thiedemann. Colston Loveland is baking him so bad in practice, you don't even see him in the frame. And this is a rookie that has 4.3 speed. But Colston Loveland he's taking him out to the woodshed and spanking him. I'm also putting him out there. We're going to have to come up with a new nickname for Stevenson because he's getting burnt. He getting burnt like yesterday's old toast, man. That's ridiculous.
but Plank, I sent y'all that video where all of them getting toasted.
Yeah.
All of them getting toasted in practice. Jalen Johnson getting toasted in practice.
Okay.
Malik Muhammad in practice, they getting toasted. Look at the video again. They all getting toasted in practice. And I'm like, I don't know if this is good for our offense or if this is bad for our defense because
it's bad.
These wide receivers and tight ends are toasting our defensive backs in practice.
But we could call Stevenson Jimmy Free. But you know what? But let's also look at it from a standpoint. We looking at a pretty doggone good tight end and Colston Loveland with a year under his belt. Actually giving a lot more assignment. He was already good, but taking a guy who's good in college and it comes over and it transfers and he gets that time, he's supposed to be burning these rookies. But what's going to happen is when you got a guy like that that's doing to a Thielemann, what I like about him, and I will go back, and it was the reason why I asked the question, you look at Sanborn. Sanborn is one of the slowest guys in the NFL. But when you know your playbook, you get a couple steps, which is why you look at him like, how is he getting over here? He that slow. But with Thielemann, I think Thieleman's going to check it out. I think he's going to figure it out, but he's going to have to. He's going to be on the defensive side of what Loveland was because they got to throw him out there. Now, Kobe said they asked him to play the strong and the weak, and he probably going to be in the box too. So good luck, Rook.
Well, the problem is he's not outrunning him. He's bullying him. He's actually getting a lot of contested catches where the guy is right there. He's just looking like, I'm bigger than you.
Yeah.
My hands are better than you. I know how to shield the ball. He's putting a master class out there against this rookie, and he's actually asking the rest of the Bears defensive backs to join too. And Jalen Johnson, hats off to Quick. He doesn't look like he's doing that good either. He's getting burnt just like everybody else on the squad.
Well, and again, I'm not going to put no stock in that only because it's training camp and it's preseason. But what I want to go back to is the Loveland thing. Just think, Colston Loveland was hurt at the beginning of last year.
He sure was.
So he really didn't get into the playbook until maybe week 3 or 4, where he really stopped. He wound up being the Bears' leading receiver last year. So that tells you something. But I'm telling y'all, man, this offense is gonna be so scary. I'm putting it first order, season 7.
Luther Burden.
I'm putting it out here right now. Luther Burden is gonna lead the Bears in receptions, yards, and touchdowns. It ain't no way. This dude, I don't know if y'all I didn't nobody respond, but I was mad because I loved it because they called it the coffin pattern. He's like,
oh.
he was like, they was like, put him in the coffin.
Put him in the coffin.
Yoked him. When
I was talking about how fast they play, when I was talking about how fast they look, we can all attest to this because we've been on the hit for 7 years. When was the last time that almost 2 years, almost a year and a half in a row, every time they threw a screen, they got 4 or 5 yards on the play? They run bubbles and they getting plus yards because I remember we had the Thanos glove for a while. Now when they run screens, it's like those dudes that get yards. That's a beautiful thing, man.
And the sad thing about it is I named the wide receivers and I forgot to name the rookie Xavier Thomas. It's going to be hard to make this team as a wide receiver. As much as I like Caden Davis, I don't know, dude. You might not. You got Scotty Miller, Caden Davis, Maurice Alexander. It's some guys on this team that's not going to make it. Right. And I forgot about Xavier Thomas.
As a DB, the thing that I hated more than anything was for a receiver to come off the line and block me. Most receivers try to play the pretty boy, and I'm going out there. So a receiver that's going to come out there and hit you in the mouth, for the most part, you're not really ready for that, man.
Buckle your chin strap. Buckle your chin strap. No rock,
let's switch to the other
block,
side.
no rock. No block,
how did Muhammad look in the slot to y'all? I know he's trying to get used to it. I'm just going to go for what we saw. He looked a little shaky in the slot, but you expect that because he never played that. I know Kyler Gordon actually looked shaky his first couple of games when he first got moved to the to that nickel. I said slot, but to that nickel position. But I think he's going to grow into it. But you know what? The strange thing is, I know we talking about Stevenson and all them. He might end up beating Stevenson them out.
They've been talking about that. You know what?
It depends on what. You don't think he'll beat him out? Okay.
No, if Kyler,
because of Kyler's messing it up.
If Kyler don't come back, you're gonna have Stevenson playing opposite of Jalen Johnson. And I think at this point right now, I would go with Josh Blackwell at the nickel spot right now. That's what I would do. If I was the coach, that's what I would do. Just because of his experience. And then you got Cam Lewis. And then it's gonna be. We don't know yet because we signed Xavier Woods. Yeah. So we don't know if he gonna play in that safety spot where Kobe Bryant was supposed to be, and then Cam Lewis dropped down as the nickel. We still got a lot. We still got a lot going on. But right now, I trust Josh Blackwell. Josh Blackwell had a couple of picks last year playing in the slot for Kyler Gordon. So at this point right now, I would have to go with the experience. I'm gonna give you a bit of advice, same way that you kind of pulled my coattail last year when I said I can't wait to see Ruben Hippolyte, and you just did this. No. No.
I'm telling you the same thing with Josh Blackwell not playing special teams. You do not want to see that dude playing defense.
Okay.
Not at the corner.
Okay.
He's nothing but Toast Patterson out there.
Okay. But that's what I would do. Because
his technique never looked good to me. Then maybe my perception though, he looks undersized as well.
Yeah, he actually is undersized. He actually is undersized. He actually is undersized, but right now, that's what I would do. But like I say, we don't know what's gonna happen with Xavier Woods and Cam Lewis. So they interchangeable. So we'll just have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see.
Paul point out that Blackwell can blitz.
He
He
can.
definitely can.
Yes, he can.
Definitely can.
Yes, he can.
He's a much better special teamer than he is a
absolutely,
a
absolutely, absolutely. He had the block punt. He had the block field goal last year that beat the Raiders. He had a couple of blow-ups on a few punt returns last year. So yeah, he's definitely a special teamer, which is why he's on the team.
He's Pro Bowl level as a special teamer, but
absolutely.
Not as a corner. I'm sorry. Everybody can't do everything, right? And,
so we have to see.
You told me Ruben Hippolyte, and you were right, and it hurts me today to tell you was right.
Hey,
but that's what it was.
Just because you run the 4.39 as a linebacker don't mean
he ran it the wrong way.
Don't mean you can play. I'm just saying.
All right. That is so true, man. But you know what? I think the Bears remind me of what some of these dudes I say, like they're like remind me of alpha man. There's nothing like a man with options.
That's true. That's true.
Saying.
That's true. And at this point right now, especially on offense, Ben got a lot of options. He got a lot of options, and I'm still thinking it's gonna be okay on defense. We all talked about in the offseason about, we need to get a pass rusher opposite Montez Sweat. Now we flip it to the defense. I think Austin Booker is gonna be he's gonna be okay. And they just signed Marcus Davenport today. If he can come in and give you some pressure off the edge, 15, 20 plays a game, I think our defense is gonna be okay. I really do. I like our linebackers. I like Devin Bush. Although him wearing number 12 is so scary to me because I'm like, who the hell is this? I'm like, oh, that's Devin Bush. That's Devin Bush playing linebacker. And then we got TJ Edwards coming back. So, DeMarco Jackson, they re-signed him. So it's some pieces in place. And Dennis Allen is a veteran coach who has a scheme that allows him to put players in positions to be better. So
you think Dio gonna feel the pressure?
I think Dio is gonna be okay. I just think it all just needs to come together. We got Vandenberg, the 6th-round draft pick. We got Javon Dexter, who's in a contract year. We signed the guy from Indianapolis. His name is escaping me right now.
Neville.
Thank you. Him. And what's the other guy that they signed? Spears or the draft pick from last year, Shamar Turner? Shamar Turner. He's coming back from injury. And then they signed another guy. So I think we're gonna be okay. We just gotta wait and let the season play out. We have to let it play out. And I'm not saying let it play out 7 or 8 games and be like, oh my God, but jumping ahead. We play Carolina week 1 on the road, Minnesota week 2 at home.
Free cheese.
Then we got Philly. And then we got the Jets. Or it's the Jets and the So we
got some breaking news. I know you're funny.
Go ahead and
that's wrong.
He got a soft tissue injury on his ear. He got on his ear.
That is funny.
He was drinking some Kool-Aid and he sprained his uvula.
That is funny.
That's hilarious, man.
Hey, what you got, Blank?
That is funny.
Before we get out of here, I know we were asked the question earlier. Bernard, talk to me about Salvon Ahmed, that running back. What did you think about that? Because I saw a different burst in their second and third team running backs. I'm trying to see, is this real or are we looking at hallucinations?
And we looking at preseason. Is it real or are we looking at preseason?
Okay. You know what? The little bit I saw from him, he looked like he's he's a bona fide guy to stick on the team. If I just say like this, if it come down to him and Roschon Johnson, he's gonna get. I would pick him because I had seen enough of Roschon Johnson. I thought that long run he made. I thought. Hold on, you said Ahmed or did you say? Yeah,
Ahmed.
I thought that was a real. I thought he saw the feel good on that run. Well, of course, it's preseason, but that was a nice run. The runs he had, and I do believe he may be the third back. Now you do have. I don't know if it's a serious injury or not, but Mananga got dinged up or something the other day. I think it was something with him and Jared Grady.
You tackled him from behind.
Yeah. It was something like they got tangled up or something. They said they ended up clearing it up, saying they were not in pads and their feet got tangled up or something crazy. But you may end up having another guy on there.
And you also have to remember Britton Brown is still on this team, who I actually like him as well.
I like Britt.
And what's the kid from Howard? I don't know what's up with him. The speedster from last year's training camp. They did sign him. So I don't know if he's still hurt.
Oh wow!
What have you?
Right? Yeah.
But I forgot about him as well. So
he played in the that alternative football league this year. That running back you talking about Howard.
Yeah. So I don't know how this gonna shake out, but like I told y'all, I forgot Roschon Johnson was actually on the team when I watched the game, and they was like Roschon Johnson was starting running back. I'm like, is he still on the team?
But when he got slapped last year, and that was the end of the story, I lost all faith in that dude.
But South Army, man, he had 72 total yards in the game last week, and 49 of them came on that screen. So you know, Ben got some choices, and that's all I'm gonna say. You know, again, like I say, I didn't even mention Xavier Thomas when I was talking about the wide receivers, but it's. Ben gonna be a mad scientist, man. He gonna be like in the lab for real, like building Frankenstein. Like, okay, what I can do this? Let me try this and see if it's gonna be really, really interesting. And for him to be like, hey, I want shootouts and blowouts. I'm all for it. I'm all for it.
I want blowouts. I don't want no shootout.
Right. I think when they come down, I know we're jumping ahead because they nowhere near cut down. They got a couple of weeks with cut down. But I think some of the dilemma they're going to have is the issue at left tackle as far as how many people are you going to be able to carry on the team, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because even though Ozzie Tabillo came back, is he going to be on, right? Are they going to have to put him on a puff lift? Probably so, because he's probably not going to be able to play still for a couple of more weeks. Then you got Braxton Jones that seemed like he maybe dinged up something recently because he left practice last week one day and didn't come back. Then Coran doesn't really know how to play football. He's just a big guy, and so you may end up.
You still got Jedrick Willis. You just and Theodore Bennett.
Theodore Bennett, correct. Theo Bennett, right, correct. And then you carrying those three tight ends, right? So you carry the three on the active roster, and with all those receivers you got, you know, it's some guys that's going to be able to show some good tape and probably going to end up, you know, they probably won't end up being here because they just deep at some spots. And then plus you got some injuries at some spots where you may just like, man, we got to carry an extra guy. But anyway, let's go to the other, before we wrap up, the upcoming game is against the Bengals. Do y'all think Caleb Williams is going to play? Any of the offensive starters going to play at all in the game?
No need for him. No need for him to play.
Hey, one point I want to make about the offensive line. Don't forget, we still got Joe Thuney. So if you need him to play offensive,
to slide outside,
yeah, exactly.
That's a good point.
He's a Swiss Army knife of Swiss Army knives.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
But as far as the starters playing in Cincinnati, they actually gonna do a joint practice with Cincinnati this week coming up before they get prior to the game. So they gonna get all that work in. And like they say, that work is better than a scrimmage game because it's a controlled practice, but it's a physical practice. Wheeler and Wheeler. Oh, okay. Thank you, Paul. Ian Wheeler, that's his name. Thank you, Paul.
That's Ian Wheeler, yeah. Yeah.
Wait,
What was
the
playing
same
in
Cincinnati that
the
don't have any defense at all?
Say it again.
The
Say it
same
again.
Cincinnati that has 0 players on the defensive side of the ball.
Well, they actually kind of bulked up their defense this year.
They didn't have a choice.
Yeah, they did a little bit. They did a little bit, but with the joint practice with Cincinnati, they're gonna get some good work in. So they're not gonna need to see the starters Saturday night in a preseason game. Don't make sense.
And
I
you know,
agree.
you look at it, what Caleb's got, what in 3 years, he got what, maybe 12, 14 interceptions. It ain't like you got to really worry about him. You know, I think that he's at a point right now. What I like about it, some of you guys mentioned, he was in his third offense, right? And his mentality just seemed to be like, oh, this is what we got. All right, let's roll with it. Having that mentality, and he's exponentially gotten better every year. So I can imagine his completion percentage, if it even goes up about 3%, man.
Yeah. Yeah, you
And
know
the
what?
thing about
Now,
it,
I want to make a comment. I hope Joe Tooney don't have to move to left tackle.
me too.
Because
Me too.
the reason I say that, not because he can't play left tackle.
Right.
I didn't like how the guy who played guard looked in the Rams game. Because they were struggling in short yardage in their game because they wasn't getting the push they needed,
right?
You know, up the middle. So I hope he doesn't have to play. I hope he doesn't have to play left tackle in that aspect. But
no, I think we're gonna be okay. I think we're
he
gonna
should
be okay.
Caleb, man, you know what? I don't know why anybody who dislikes Caleb other than Green Bay fans, which I don't take serious. I don't get it. Caleb, to me, has been one of the few quarterbacks the Bears have had that I could say has embraced his role. He actually takes accountability, even at the mic. They asked him a question about Roma Dunze wanted to make that next step or whatever. And he said, well, that's on me. I got to get the ball to him when he's open. I got to throw him a catchable, accurate ball. That's a quarterback, right, saying I'm taking responsibility, right? And it's weird because some people view that as, he just talking. Well, he's actually telling you what he's going to try to do, which is taking accountability. So he's basically saying, hey, I'm going to do everything I can to get him there, right? The rest of it is on him, really, right? He can't make him catch it or get open, but if he's open, I'm going to get him the ball, right? If he got one-on-one, he said the ball is coming to him. So
And
I
the
like
scary thing,
quarterback that's actually taking responsibility for his role, and he has embraced the role as Chicago quarterback, which one of the things that's beautiful about this is last year coming into the season, one of the stories that was being ran was he didn't want to be drafted by the Bears, and there was this story, and they couldn't wait till training camp came so they could ask him about being a Bears player and drafted. He has put all that to rest, to me, by embracing his role. He's taking leadership of his role. When he's impressed and he's an oppressor, he's in charge, and they're talking about how he's in charge. And that's probably why, let me how to wrap this up. That's probably why we don't feel like he has to play, because last year what we was hearing was they couldn't get the snap count right. They was having false starts.
that's what I was getting ready to say. Right.
And then when we got in the season, we could see that, right? Those first 3 or 4 games, you had a lot of false start. You had illegal motions, right? When it all comes down to it, the quarterback takes the blame for those, right? Because the quarterback is the one that, you just say, hey, he didn't let that receiver get set. Whatever, right? But that's the role, right? That the quarterback takes responsibility for a lot of those. Or maybe, he called indicators and they wasn't used to his rhythm, right? And guys are jumping offside because he was getting used to making calls. That's unfortunately what college quarterbacks come in and they're not used to doing nothing but a hand clap.
This dude got 47 touchdowns and 13 interceptions in 2 years.
And see, that's the thing.
Wow.
That's the thing, Bernard. What was scary to me, what's scary about this offense is how Ben Johnson talked about how he threw so much at him last year. He was like, I was just throwing stuff at Caleb. I was just throwing stuff at Caleb last year. And now he took that and he absolved all of that. And now this year, all you hear about is Ben Johnson saying, yeah, because we adding on. We adding on. It ain't no pulling back. Now we adding on because I know what he can handle.
Right.
This is going to be really, barring any injuries, and this is going to be really, really fun to watch. And I'm so looking forward to it because this could be really, really scary. It could be
Well,
really, really
how
scary.
we gonna know when Caleb Williams has actually made it? When nobody else makes any mentions about his fingernails. And
right.
it's kind of at that point right now, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty much.
I've heard one fingernail no joke.
Yeah, you know what? And I'm not looking for that 70% thing, to be honest.
No,
I even heard Tom
so.
Brady talk about that. I think Tom Brady said maybe once or twice his career, somewhere around.
I don't
those
know,
numbers,
man.
that he
know.
threw about 70%. And Tom Brady said that the thing about it, when he threw for 70% those 1 or 2 seasons, he said he wasn't pushing the ball down the field.
Right. Exactly.
The better point for a quarterback is somewhere around 65 or 64 because you actually are taking more risk and pushing the ball. So I kind of
know Ben pushing the ball down, and we know Ben pushing the ball down the field. So you
gotta pick your poison.
I got a prediction. Rome Odunze is going to have fewer drops than Jerry Jeudy.
That ain't a hard prediction, man.
No, but you know what I think? What I do believe is I think that Rome tried so hard, and a lot of times guys do that instead of just kind of relaxing. Because when we saw him at Washington, it's like dude was like a vacuum cleaner. He didn't drop nothing. But I just think that year having that, and then now Caleb is maturing, I think he wants to get catches for Caleb. I mean, because I think that guys like that, I don't see him dropping a whole lot of balls now. But then, like I said, then we got our boy Luther Burden. Luther Burden I'm gonna be at the liquor store 5 blocks. Just when you snap the ball, just throw it.
Well, I'm sorry. I got a different thought process on Rome Odunze. Catch the ball. You don't want to hear about bad form or how you felt.
Catch the football.
You had stomach ache. Nobody cares.
Oh no, yeah.
If the ball comes to you, catch the ball.
Catch the football. Because he had a key drop, and I know we got to go, but he had a key drop in that playoff game against the Rams. I never forget in the end zone. Yeah. I feel you on that one, Plank. Catch the football.
You got to catch the ball.
Football.
Guess what? You gonna have to. It seemed like he was on track. I know he had the injury until his father started babbling off, and then it seemed like at that point going forward, his productivity started declining. Hey, guess what, dude? You got a lot of competition on this team. And I think now this may be where, we may say we're going to miss DJ, but this is where I think Caleb be able to blossom. He doesn't have to feel any pressure to actually get one person the ball.
Mm-hmm.
It's about, are you getting separation? Because I think that will always kind of, I hate to see DJ leave, but I think that would be kind of like always being a thing. How much he getting paid in his production with that many receivers, we'll be saying, oh, you need to get the ball more to him, where they trying to force plays into him. I think this year Caleb is going to be able to say, hey, get some separation, the ball coming to you, right? And I think these guys are going to be hungry enough to
and not to mention.
I do.
And not to mention, Rome, you're going into your 3rd season, man. Year 3 is supposed to be the average wide receiver. Year 3 is the year that they break out. So
ask Justin Fields what happened in his 3rd season when he ain't do so good. They're like, you was a dog in Washington.
Yeah, Ryan, he's going to go for 4K this year. He's definitely going to go for 4K this year.
And he was like mad, like very close. Like about if Rome had couple of balls, he'd have had the 4K.
Right, yeah, he definitely going to go for 4K this year. For sure.
Yeah, man. I'm just happy. It's a good place for us to be in, because I can remember we started this show 7 years ago, and we went through that first year, man. It was just dreadful. But to be able to have this type of conversation, this excitement of seeing what we see, not just having, I have faith in, I think it's going to work out to us actually looking at a viable product out there. And it's like, you know what? If they get some momentum, I'm not gonna try to jinx them or nothing like that, but teams ain't gonna want to see them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm sorry, y'all, that Quick wasn't able to. He was having technical problems tonight. So we weren't able to get him on the broadcast tonight. I was hoping that we could talk to him a little bit more about the new program he got coming Out of Bounds, and maybe we'll be able to get him on this week to kind of set the stage for what that show is going to be. And like I said, we're going to spend more material this year, and I'm gonna try to figure out how can we accept 1 to 2 call-ins,
phone calls,
right, into the broadcast. I'm gonna figure out how we could do it where we could hear it and the people viewing can hear the person too without me putting the phone near the mic.
Okay.
And I think it would just add a little bit to the show because we plan to keep growing this platform. I know Jay actually raised the stakes for us last year. He said something behind the scenes and say, "Hey, it's that time," right? So when it's that time,
I'm just saying,
right, then you have to do more. You got to raise the stakes and aim that arrow higher. And like I said, hey, no more just Bears Banter Talk Show. We expanded to Bears Banter BBT
Sports Network.
Sports Network. We expanded into a network. So
it's a network. Let's get it cracking.
Let's
get it cracking.
With it. Absolutely with it.
Let's get it cracking.
Yeah. Hey, y'all got anything else? I know we ain't had the show in a while, so hey, I'm not pressuring us to wrap up. I know we got a lot to catch up, a lot of off-season stuff. We had a chance, the opportunity to address, and different things happening through the preseason, different signings, how people play, concerns, people that you think might not make the roster, or somebody they may have to pick up. There's so much things. I know people think it's just preseason, but really preseason is important. There's a whole lot of stuff that happens in preseason that you may stuff like that. The score you may say don't mean as much, but what you do want to see is execution. And you want to see if you're supposed to be a starter, if you can't keep up defensively as a corner, for example, if you're supposed to be slotted as a starter and you're getting burned by second string receivers, then we're concerned, right? We're concerned. Or if you lined up on defense and you can't get pressure and you playing against the second string offensive tackle, I don't know. Maybe they got to get somebody to replace you.
Next man up, as they say.
Yes, sir. Hey, y'all got anything else? We can wrap up. Man, we look forward to the next show. I don't know if we're going to do a pregame. Probably just do a postgame for this next one.
Yeah, we'll just do a postgame for the Cincinnati game because, again, it's preseason and we still need to try to focus our attention on who's going to make this roster and who's not, and the injuries, the seriousness of the injuries that we have right now going into the season. But right now, this is the first off season, and I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna wrap up. This is the first off season where I actually didn't come into the off season like, oh my God, we ain't this, we ain't got this, we don't have this. It's been calm. And it's because we have Ben Johnson and we got Caleb Williams. Like I said, the stadium thing is a whole nother thing. That could be a whole nother show that we could do on like a Tuesday morning. Something I don't even want to talk about. But you know what I'm saying? But outside of that, the football stuff, I'm all for it. That stadium stuff, I ain't even trying to hear it right now. I'm not even trying to hear it right now.
It's not where you're from, it's where you're at. And we's in Soldier Field right now.
That's all. That's it. And that's all I'm thinking about right now. So, yeah. But thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for watching. It's Bears Banter, Season 7. We doing big things this year. Look forward to Bears Banter Talk Show Sports Network.
Yes, sir.
Which is going to be more than talking about just the Bears. So we looking forward to that. Season 7. God bless you guys. Peace out.
Peace.